Life is Strange Double Exposure is a proper return to form. I want to give a big thank you to Square Enix for providing me a code for Life is Strange Double Exposure. I'm very grateful, not only as someone who covers your other series pretty religiously, but I cannot undersell how much I absolutely adore Life is Strange. The very first Life is Strange I consider to be one of my top 30 games of all time. I remember playing it back when they dropped it for free on the PlayStation Store a few years back, and I streamed the entire thing from start to finish. Little did I know that I would be obsessed with everything that this game has to offer. From the characters, to the music, to the various narrative decisions you have to make, it's one of those gaming moments that have stuck with me for years. And I've been avidly playing every other Life is Strange that has released throughout the years. While the other games have their own trials and tribulations, the original game has always remained my favorite. So to hear that they're dropping a game that functions as this game's direct sequel, with Max Caulfield taking her position as the main protagonist again, I was immediately interested. There will be minor spoilers for Double Exposure in this video, nothing that wouldn't be answered within the game's first chapter of course, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. Also, if you could let me know in the comments section below, what is your favorite non-Kingdom Hearts Square Enix game? They have so many options under their belt, from Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Life is Strange, and so much more. Literally hundreds of different games to choose from. And saying Kingdom Hearts here is too easy, so we need to mix it up a little bit. And while you're down there, please be sure to hit that like button. The likes function as a healing for me, making it so I don't keel over on my keyboard. Now that that's done, I do want to lay out some groundwork for full transparency's sake. There are 3 versions of the game that are currently up for sale. Digital Standard, which will run you about $50, which will give you access to the game when it fully releases on October 29th. Then there's the Digital Exposure Deluxe Edition for an extra $10. This one will give you a few more outfits for Max to change into, but you'll still need to wait for October 29th. And the last version, costing $79.99, being the Ultimate Digital Edition. So the version that Square Enix has provided to me is the Ultimate Digital Edition, as this is the version that allows you to play the game up to 2 weeks earlier than its launch. You also get access to a few more outfits, including some Final Fantasy themed ones, which I will talk about later, and it only gives you access to the first 2 chapters of the game. For those unaware, the older Life is Strange games followed this episodic release, where one episode would drop and another would follow it up a few months later. But for this one, Chapter 1 and 2 are available right now on the Ultimate Edition, and Chapter 3 through 5 will be unlocked once the rest of the game is available for everyone else. This reminds me of that method that Netflix does with some of their newer shows, where they will split up a full season into multiple parts. I'm gonna tell you right from the jump that I do think this is a game that you should just wait for. You're paying an extra $30 to be able to play the game a few weeks earlier. While the additional outfits are nice, I don't think they very much warrant that extra price tag. Getting the regular digital edition would just cost you $50 and you'll get the full game just waiting for a few more weeks. I mean, I get the urge to want to play the game a bit earlier, but charging this much to do that, that's not really something I'm gonna fully support. Mind you, this has nothing to do with the quality of the game. This is just one of those pricing methods that I just wanted to call out real quick. Like, if Square did not slide me a code, I would have just been waiting until the end of the month like everyone else. With that out of the way, there's probably a few peeps who are confused about what Life is Strange is. So Life is Strange is a game that's published by Square Enix. The first few entries were developed by Don't Nod Entertainment and was eventually moved onto Deck 9 for development. It's a choose-your-own-adventure game where you take control of a girl with the ability to rewind time. Every decision you make alters the narrative that you're going to get out of it. And when you're not choosing paths, you're either looking around for clues for solving puzzles, or overall getting a better understanding of the area of Arcadia Bay. You really feel like you live in this town as you get to know its residents, from your bright-eyed classmates to the town's underbelly. The narrative really starts to go down some dark places that I don't want to spoil, but the writing very much reminds me of a CW show, as it does get dramatic at times and even the dialogue can get a bit goofy here and there, but I think that's a big part of the charm for this series. With this being a choose-your-own-adventure series, going into the narrative as blind as possible is important. That way the game could go on and surprise you all on its own. Even for Double Exposure, this was not a game that I looked at any of the promotional material for. I just saw that Max from the original game was going to come back and I was sold. Avoiding trailers, just waiting for the game to come out at this point. With that being said, I cannot recommend Life is Strange Double Exposure if you have not experienced the original game. Like I said, this is a direct sequel taking place several years after the first entry, and there is a penultimate decision that you make in that first game that directly affects a decision you make early in this game. So I'm going to recommend that you play the original Life is Strange before you jump into this one. You should also just play that game. It's in my top 30 for a reason.
Should think about your actions. Shaka bra.
What? Now, in Life is Strange Double Exposure, Max Caulfield is a full-blown adult, currently teaching at Caledon University as a photography professor, which is located in Vermont, a considerably long distance from Arcadia Bay in Oregon. Right from the beginning, you're able to customize her outfit, and this is where the Final Fantasy fits come into play for those who purchase the Ultimate Edition. You get this really nice chocobo sweater to throw on, and her outerwear is something else, with it being based on a Moogle. From the hat to the black and pink designs scattered around her outfit, it immediately became my go-to in booting up the game. Wait, time out. I didn't know her jacket was. I didn't know it was. The Moogle hat is killing me. Wait, time out. No, we have to change. Look at this jacket. I'm jealous. This is immaculate. Oh my god. Oh my god. First off, it's not even a zipper. It's like these little. What the hell? They got these little belt buckle things. Oh my. With this being an older Max, you might think they would dial down on her cheesy dialogue, because Max, the original, is just full of the doofiest one-liners I have ever seen.
Good thing I left my AK at home.
What?
And that has not changed with this game either. Like,
How do you do, fellow kids?
oh my god, Max. No! I did not ask your age in question and you just do that old oh my god. Hello, my fellow kids. Oh my god. It's really nice to see her in this town and really start to make herself part of the culture, and she's all grown up. It's a bittersweet feeling seeing a character you saw so young become the adult they are today. Like in this game, she's a full-blown authority figure with the local students looking at her for guidance and wisdom. I think a big part of this is because the setting is on a college campus. With the school having a heavy emphasis on art, the design here is really nice. The game also takes place in the winter, so to see a university covered in a blanket of snow, it somewhat made me nostalgic of my time in college, which funny enough was pretty close to the location to the one in this game. It really nails that northeastern winter vibe. This game also focuses on a single location, which makes it for more time with these characters. I'd say that was my biggest critique about Life is Strange 2. While I did enjoy these characters, you don't get to spend a lot of time with them, with it being a road trip story. Double Exposure returns to it remaining in a single location, and I'm already seeing its strengths, including the plethora of characters we'll encounter. From a nosy journalist student who wants the biggest scoop for her podcast, to a full of himself professor who has published his own book and won't stop talking about it, to the prissy rich kid who's in charge of a secret society. And this guy who just loves to skate. No matter where you are, he's just about his grind, skating here all day. After a few minutes within the first chapter, one of our friends, Safi, is mysteriously found dead on the top of this outlook, as Max and her friend Moses find her body lying here on the ground. And while Max did have the power to rewind time in the last game, her powers have all but faded at this point. That is until she really locks in and accidentally discovers she has a new power. And this new power is the main gameplay mechanic for this entry, as now Max is able to jump between two different realities. Her origin timeline, where her friend Safi was murdered in cold blood, and a new alternate timeline where her friend is still alive. And now it is up to you to use this new power to prevent Safi from being taken down in this new timeline as well, and to find out who was responsible for Safi's death. For starters, I really like this gameplay change. You're able to walk through these portals and get an alternative take of the world, where you see the small pieces moved out of place, really getting the whole butterfly effect of how someone's death can really alter our reality. And the game has some pretty neat puzzles built around this idea, as Max is able to bring items with her from one timeline to another. So if you're in the dead timeline, by the way, this is what the game calls it, and you need a stepladder that can only be found in the alive timeline, you get it and you bring it over. The implications of doing something like this has not really been laid out yet, but Max messing with time again is already a recipe for disaster. The narrative has the potential to go really insane with how far apart these timelines will be. Also, a very minor thing that's only really going to affect those who stream this game, but you are able to stream the whole game without fear of being hit by YouTube's copyright system, as the developers made sure that the music used in the game would not be picked up by the system, and if they are, you can easily dispute them, making it so you can play through this without fearing for your channel's life. First off, I want to say how huge this is as a content creator. I love these games, but it was often where the music was a big problem for YouTube, and Life is Strange is a game that the big part of its identity is the music. Entire scenes would have had to be muted in the past, but they took responsibility in that. It's not common when companies think about the people who are playing their games like this, but I just wanted to give them a big thank you for thinking about this. It's huge. And while I have been enjoying my time with the first few chapters, there have been a few tone-breaking bugs that have kind of pulled me out of it. I know the game is in early access, but like, is it really? I think the early access tagline is just here to sell the game earlier for those who are interested, which worries me because some of these bugs may still exist when the full game is out there. One of which is this thing where the characters will quickly reposition themselves between camera cuts. It happens so fast, but I'm able to notice it every time the camera switches. You can see the game is putting the characters where they need to be rather than being seamless. Then of course there's the visual glitches with the props in the game. Here are some examples. Like, what on earth?
Damn it. She just locked this. If I could just...
Am I insane? Or was that door open and I could
No. Even if I could rewind...
Wait. Don't gaslight me, bro. Don't you do that. Don't do that. This door was not here. Not to rob you in this timeline. How wonderful. Wait, did it say unlock in the time? Stop. That said unlock, but the briefcase was open. Am I insane? Yo, are you serious? I'm not. No.
Let's see if you're the one who smashed Sophie's windshield.
I'm going crazy, y'all. Hey, whoa, that dude's chin. I normally don't complain about glitches because they're usually fun and add a little spunk into the mix. Like, as long as they're not completely breaking the game, we're fine. But in a game like this, where narrative is the most important aspect of it all, I hope they can iron out these issues in case other bugs exist during the most important moments. I was able to get through both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 in about 5 hours, and I imagine Chapter 3 and 5 will be following a similar scope, which is pretty normal to the lengths of these kind of games. Without going into the ending of Chapter 2, I was shook to my core. Like, Life is Strange had me super choked for a minute there. I couldn't believe it. And I really want to know what happens next. Like I said, it's like that CW show that ends on a cliffhanger at the end of the episode, so you're just dying to find out what happens next, and we'll all just have to wait until October 29th to see what that is. But yes, this is what I thought of the first 2 chapters of Life is Strange Double Exposure. If you're interested, let me know if you want a full review when the game is fully out. Likes are the best way to tell me that. And once again, thank you so much to Square Enix for providing me a code for this one. It's a really special feeling considering this is very much a game that I had my eye on for a while. Do you have any extra memories with Life is Strange? Is this your first time hearing about this game? I'm being so serious when I say please play Life is Strange Remastered first. Like, you wouldn't play Kingdom Hearts 2 without playing Kingdom Hearts 1 first, right? Okay, alright, that might not be the best example. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay awesome.